Today we're going to talk about what shifted absolutely everything in my life. It wasn't a new diet, it wasn't a new treatment, it wasn't a new supplement of any kind. It was a very important decision that I'd taken at some stage in my recovery. That decision was leaving my day job, one of the hardest things I'd ever done in my entire life. At the time, doing such a thing felt like failure, but looking back now and reflecting, I now realize that this was one of the most important decisions that I had made in order to bolster my recovery. For those of you that are new here, my name is Kasim. I'm a structural engineer. For more than 10 years, I struggled with chronic fatigue syndrome until I could find the solution as to how to recover. Today, I'm a wellness coach and I help people who suffer from chronic health conditions like CFS find their way to recovery. If you'd like to stay in tune with the latest health and wellness tips, then please consider subscribing so you don't skip a beat with Samsung Wellness. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first let's illustrate what life looked like for me before I decided to leave my job. There were a variety of things that were going on at the time in my life. I had a lot of chronic stress, brain fog, difficulty trying to concentrate at work, this overhanging fatigue that loomed on me every single day when I woke up. I had this unrefreshing sleep and I was just wishing that every single day things could have been different, but I couldn't find my answers. I was constantly showing up for work, pushing and crashing, trying to find my way through life, but I just couldn't find any help anywhere. I was constantly exhausted and overwhelmed until I finally made the decision of putting my health first. One day I just remember waking up and I had lost absolutely all the energy and motivation to turn up for the job that was draining me. My body felt like it was shutting down and I couldn't go on, so I decided to resign in order to rebuild the life that I once had in the past. I felt like I had to create a new beginning for myself to rebuild my health, something that I had neglected for so many years. At the time I felt like I had failed. The amount of time and energy that I invested in my career was suddenly put on hold and there were question marks over my future. At the time I was anxious because I didn't have all the answers, I didn't have it all figured out. There was a lot of uncertainty in my future, but I've realized one thing. Afterwards, after making the decision, it was one of the best decisions I had ever made in my entire life. Quitting wasn't magic, but it was the start of a new beginning. This was because I relieved my nervous system from a lot of external pressures that were present during my day job. I relieved myself from chronic stress, constant pressure and anxiety that I had at the time. As a matter of fact, I had realized that my nervous system was very dysregulated, and I was finally starting to send my nervous system some signals of safety again. I started to feel more comfort, relaxed, and more energized throughout my life. It didn't happen overnight, but it was all about making small and consistent improvements on a daily basis to rebuild my health to where it used to be. Upon reflection of the past, there were some key lessons that I had learned. Number one, rest isn't laziness. Removing stress and creating rest for yourself creates a new opportunity for healing. Number two, healing sometimes requires very difficult decisions to be made. Now, I'm not saying everyone out there who has CFS needs to quit their day job, but some people need to make some kind of a decision in order to regain their health again. Some people can't and some people don't need to. Every situation is different. It depends on the person and the situation. And finally, at number three, your health is your wealth. Yes, your health is more valuable than your career. It took me a very long time to realize this, and I had to internalize some certain things in order to understand that health is absolutely at the top of the pyramid. It has the utmost priority in my life, and I believe the same goes for everyone. If you don't have your health, it is very difficult to make things work. To conclude, leaving my job wasn't actually the end of the world. It was the start of a new beginning, and it was one of the most difficult decisions I had ever made in my life, but it gave my body enough space to start healing again. I'd love to hear your story. Was there a particular turning point in your recovery? If so, please let me know in the comment section below. Until the next video, my name is Kasim. Thank you so much for watching.